to the moon.
Houston, we have a problem.
Astronauts to the moon.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. If you're watching us from YouTube, do comment, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're first time here, do subscribe, comment, and share the show with your friends. And if you are watching us from realtruthseekers.com, rts.video, yes, rts.video is one of our main sponsors for Heliopsychosis and most of our coming productions and the mechanical realm. So if you have not been to the mechanicalrealm.com, do visit. And yes, what an awesome show we have today. Another episode of like a timekeeper's odyssey. So today podcast, we're going to try to uncover the world of calendars, cycles, and the timeless quest to measure time. Let's embark on a journey through this continuous and ever evolving realm of timekeeping. So let's go on with our co-host Gene. Gene, brother, how are you doing?
Hey, Vika, doing great, brother. Thanks for another good show. And cycles and time is very complex and somewhat confusing. But thanks for being here, everybody, for this show. It's a special show. You know, we got our pilot here, our navigator, our host of the show is celebrating a special birthday today. And we want to wish him a happy birthday, Vika. It's been a great year being here with you, and don't know what I'd be doing without being here on Sundays with everybody. So, especially after last week, you told that story of how you were in such a dangerous position. So, it makes this birthday even more special, bro. To have you here after going through that with your family. It was a pretty scary event. So, and thanks, bro. It's just turning 12 o'clock in Spain where you are, and it's 6 o'clock here in New York. So, last year we were just leaving your birthday. So, and that puts it in a point that this calendar, if your birthday is on a Sunday this year, it'll be on a Monday next year, except for February, except for leap year, February. That throws everything off for 2 days then. Other than that, everything's just shifting one day from year to year. So, thanks, brother. Happy birthday, man. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. And yeah, it's just 12 past or 9 right now in Spain. So right now, like I complete 49 cycles. Like, we could say 1 year more or 1 year less, however you say it's depends on us, right?
That's
So
great.
yeah, cycles within cycles, right? So at least in this dimension, in this realm, 49 cycles, right? So awesome. And yeah, the humanity has been following time and doing timekeeping from even more than we could imagine, the time which is going on, which shows that in different cycles and different places, in different monuments, in different architecture, in different culture, how things they celebrate and everything, right? So that's what we're going to try to explore tonight, or calendars and cycles. But before we jump into it, I just literally want to say, I want to take out some time and say thank you to everyone who has been collaborated in the mechanical realm, and really, like, thank you to the all whom we know and to the all we do not know, and that really inspire us to keep going. It's just to let everyone know that it's been invested in the right place, and people are going to see that support and the fruits of the support. So as I said, in the future I'm going to make a podcast where we're going to be showing not all but some of our collaborators, and yep, for supporting the documentary. And yep, so awesome. And about the calendars, we know that we have a Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar, right? Like the Julian calendar was like pioneered by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE, right? It marked a significant milestone in calendar development. It introduced a 365-day year with a leap year every 4 years, aiming to align with the solar year. However, over time, inaccuracies accumulated, and it needed further refinement. So that's why we have the 2080, all the calculation on with those related to these calendars, right? And then we fast forward to 1582, like Pope Gregory introduced the Georgian calendar. This was supposed to like fine tune the leap year rules and ensuring a closer synchronization with the solar year. The transition from Julian to Gregorian calendars showcase how timekeeping systems are part of an ongoing process of improvement. Because yeah, the humanity has tried to in every different way. That's why there's the difference of things which is not matching up according to the skies, because they try to manipulate and bring in different calendars to take us out from our real rhythm, our real cycle, our real. That's why they say, that there was supposed to be 13 months according to a 28-day month. It should be 13 months, not 12.
Right. Of 28 days, right? And one extra day.
Exactly.
But
Like a 28-day month had intrigued many throughout the histories too. Like the proponents argue that it aligns more closely with the lunar cycle, which lasts 29 and a half days. And this idea had sparked the discussion about the 13 months calendar, with each month consisting of 28 days. While it's not widely adopted, it underscores the exploration of alternative timekeeping methods. Some going with the sun, some going with the moon, right?
Yeah, some even go with a little of both.
Right.
The lunar solar calendar.
Exactly. And also, for example, the sundials, like architects and builders have even created sundials and architectural features to help track the lunar or the solar cycles.
Yeah, right. Some of the sundials, hundreds or even up to thousands of years old.
Oh yeah, that's precise timekeeping. Even we speak about the temples, right? The temples were on the equinoxes and solstices somewhere, some places, the sunrise is happening to a specific point and places.
Yeah.
All these places are supposed to be markers, calendars, a way of timekeeping. Even the Stonehenge or any other the other one. How I don't know how to pronounce that. It's in Turkey, Tepe something, which they discovered.
Oh, Göbekli Tepe.
Exactly. It's also another
Yeah.
way of timekeeping calendar or with the celestial observations.
And you know what they said about Göbekli Tepe, that this massive fortress of a city, that these people buried it before they left, and they haven't, in like 20 years later, they still haven't found the ends of it. But they're trying to say that the people buried it. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, and even that one and the Stonehenge, and there have to be many which have been maybe it's also buried or we would never find that this kind of timekeeping technology with stones and with maybe other materials apart from the temples and the sundials and everything that exists, right? Because
Sure.
for many people the Stonehenge or other kind of stuff like these are just like ruins of some stones, but in reality it's like it's timekeeping of thousands of years right there to the precision. The only thing is that it's been like over time it's not in the perfect conditions, but definitely it had its functions in those times. And if the people try to solve that and see it, you will see that it's a technology for keeping the time, right?
Sure it is. Sure, they realize the importance of it too. Seasonal, daily, monthly. They just understood this world in a deeper way than we're being taught. Most of us, I guess, right? I know the education system doesn't teach us anything about that, but it's all astrophysics kind of information. So they're not really teaching us much about what's really going on how to use for our advantage. I think the calendar was put this way for tax reasons.
Exactly, brother. They don't want that because that's real science. Then people will start doing real science when they understand how all these things work. They would prefer people to just look up and right fake space, right? And
Wow.
yeah, and we were very primitive. We are very primitive, so and there are many other places like this which we didn't don't know how it functions, right? And have many of the ancient structures are doing things that we all don't understand everything. We have some ideas, right? When we speak about the Tartarian architecture and all this stuff, we understand few things, but there is
Right.
much more to that, right? With the and especially with this and it's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
you know, when you throw in the location of the places on Earth, and then the movement of everything above it, and when they line up at certain things, and then you throw the cymatics involved, and the bells and from the towers and things like that, it just must have been a whole different world. All of it,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know, and then you know, maybe even things like dirigibles. How are they getting? How are people going from, you know, across the oceans? I would think dirigibles, or even maybe what is the Vimana, the personal invisible, you know, like a magic carpet. Those are magical times back then, I think, and I feel like it's like so close within our grasp as humanity.
Oh yeah, nothing is new under the sun, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's been
Right.
hidden, right? So
True.
it's not for
Right.
the.
And a lot of these things we have are a cheap ripoff of what we could have. We said stuff like that on these podcasts before, and like the phones are, you know, transmitting pictures instantly anywhere, and maybe we used to have that ability
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
from analog we became digital, right? So there has to be something more ahead, right? Because the
Right.
function is the same, right?
Sure. And the progress is usually the same. Wow.
Oh yeah. So we all heard about Saros cycle and the Metonic cycle, right? So I'm just gonna give a small brief, but in more detail about this, you all can check out the mechanical realm documentary. Okay, so the solar cycle repeating approximately every 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours is a measuring pattern that precisely predicts solar and lunar eclipses. It exemplifies the interconnection of celestial events with ancient civilization designing observatories and architectural structure to monitor these cycles. We're speaking about 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. So imagine how precise is a cycle. It's a cycle. What does the cycle means? That it needs to complete and do it again, right? It's just 18 years. It's like if 5 cycle of this, if you're lucky, that's a lifetime of a person, right? 5 cycles you're speaking about, right? And we all know the importance of eclipses from all this ancient time to now, right? It's another way of keeping, like, timekeeping. And then we also have about the mechanism, like it's a ancient piece of technology used to predict celestial events. An intricate device showcases the blending of science, engineering, and architecture in understanding cosmic cycles. So the mechanical realm dives really deep in that. I'm just giving the brief because we are speaking about cycles, right? So do go and see the mechanical realm. And then we have the world of the Mayans, right? We all remember the 2012, the end of the world, right? The movie, the books, the paranoia, right? The end of the world, right? The Mayan calendar.
there's gears in that on a like on a rod, right? Two gears, a gear within a gear, riding up in
Oh yeah, it's
on
all
like a
different.
column.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a gear jigsaw puzzle that is like just fits into another each other every cycle, and it's just showing another race how also they were doing timekeeping. And these Mayan cycles were not, we're not speaking about 18, 20, or 100 years. These cycles are supposed to be in thousands of years. So things that repeat every thousands of years, and they have a technology to make it and to use it with what is happening around and above.
Yeah, but bro, I can't help but just get lost in thinking how long it took to get to that stage.
In the Mayan cosmology, we did the Mayan cosmology. They speaks about they are in the second or the third sun cycle. That we are speaking about time keeping of thousands of years.
Precise too, with
Exactly,
all
and
the
even
with,
yeah, go ahead.
no, with just how many different things in between, like countless thousands of alignments and eclipses in between that are all accounted for. That's amazing. We don't understand any of that stuff today. None of this stuff is really taught. None of it. And that's
Oh yeah,
all they, right? What else were they teaching back then? Because this was obviously a big part of their, educational curriculum. So what else are they learning now? Farming, agriculture, writing? I don't know, but this was so complex that I can't picture how long it took to get them to build anything to represent it.
exactly, and even the mainstream astrology, if you want to call it, right? It's when they speak about the age of the Pisces and the age of the Aquarius, that we are right now in the age of the Aquarius. Like even these cycles are 2000 plus year cycles. How the hell they know?
Really?
So that's 2000 per constellation or per horoscope.
Mm-hmm.
That we are speaking about 20 plus thousand year of cycle. Who the hell is being monitoring that and
And passing it down in such detail.
exactly. That's why as we spoke about it before, right? About the, like some apps, they're not showing that the sun is supposed to be in the Scorpio according to the time of the year and everything, according to the constellation, the events and everything. They say the sun is supposed to be in Scorpio and it's not in Scorpio. It's in Scorpio in the sky, but according to all these apps and all the calculation, it's not in the Scorpio and it's in Virgo still. So it's not squaring up with their apps and with all the technology they have, because they have tried to manipulate all these calendars and all all these cycles with their fake pseudoscience. So it's not matching up. That's the real clock. You're right.
Wow. You know, what if they're just what if they're able to manipulate time itself, though, right? And manipulate the mechanism.
Oh, yeah, as you said, the time is going really, really fast, right? That's could be one of the reason, right? So there is some kind, could be that there's some kind of manipulation that's why it's not squaring up with the real observations. or vice versa, right?
Very strange. There's so much strangeness going on a daily basis all over the place. Just things are weird. I'm not saying bad, you know, just strange.
Oh yeah. So the Mayan civilization like crafted a complex calendar system, including the Zolk in with 260 days and the Hab a 365 days solar calendar. These intertwined cycles formed the basis for their advanced understanding of time. The architectural wonders, such as Mayan pyramids and temples, were often aligned with celestial events, emphasizing their connection to the cosmos and the importance of timekeeping in their culture. And as I mentioned earlier, various cultures and spiritual traditions recognize cosmic ages that influence human consciousness. The age of Aquarius, found in the Western astrology, represents an era of enlightenment and heightened awareness, often depicted in the architecture of the spiritual centers and temple. Right? So these are things they are waiting for this time of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius, right? They know because it's not the first time. And again, it's gonna be different kind of ages after Aquarius. From where did this knowledge come that the age of Aquarius always brings the era of enlightenment and heightened awareness? Because we know that before the age of Aquarius, there's going to be darkness and there's going to be indoctrination and there's going to be ignorance, right? So again, it's simulating the same thing again and again. It's just thousands of years apart, so it looks like it's happening for the first time, right? So we can't really can't imagine what exists, what existed, and what is going to exist, or what exists in parallel, or where we don't have access, where we can't reach because of the proportion of the time and the proportion of the way and the knowledge that has been passed, right? So we think we know a lot about this realm, but it's crazy, yeah.
Nah, man, they're not teaching us any of the good stuff that can really extend our lives and keep us in a harmonious state with nature and the people around us, because we're all nature. And they chip away at it slowly. But maybe with the new age of Aquarius, maybe more people will just stick to that childhood information, that connection inside that gets washed away as we get sent into the indoctrination camps. And it's washed away by TV and school and competition and bad food and bad water. But that connection, we all have it. So maybe that's what happens. They're just not susceptible to, kind of falling for this stuff that's going on around here. as much.
Oh yeah, the Mother Nature is very wise, right?
Yeah, right.
It's it it will purge everything that it's not very in any way, right? So
So like the body's immune system.
exactly. So if we are part of this immune system of the whole ecosystem, so when there's something wrong in that ecosystem, it's automatically gonna detect, and sooner or later it's gonna be right.
Yeah, it's gonna react. So
Yeah,
maybe that's
just
what it is, right? The psyche will react to it, and it'll put a stop to the nonsense.
exactly, because we see what happens and how many people make it into the age of Aquarius, right? Because it's not, the awakening is not gonna come easy, right? Whatever is happening or in all these years behind, it's like
So let me ask you something. Is there like a date where it's officially everything is in the age of Aquarius? Has that happened? Are we heading towards it? Are we in the middle of a buffer zone? What is it? What is the story with that?
it's not an exact date, it's a approx,
Right.
some say that it started in the right after the twin tower. Some people say, some say it's going to be starting in the next 50 years, some say it's already started
Right.
50 years before, so it's different,
Right.
so
It's hard to really say then. Yeah, because
yeah,
I've
with
heard that.
all the exactly, and all the other cycles of the other cosmologies and other cultures is intermingled with that. And the Mayans we have, and then we have the Vedics, and we have the Western ones, they all are saying the same thing in the other way, right? Because if we go to the Vedic part, Kali Yuga is of the dark times, and after the dark times comes the light. Maybe it's coming now in Aquarius, maybe it's in the future. We maybe maybe a bit,
Right.
or maybe 50, 100, we don't know. So it's just different views, different ideas, right, about
Yeah, and I guess maybe it'll slowly creep in, just like what happened to us at this point slowly crept in, and maybe it'll kind of creep out. You know.
exactly, because also the age of Aquarius is also connected with communications and technology. And so in a way it's possible, right, like mass awakening, and the technology is here for the mass awakening, right? So it's possible that we are in the starting, or that it could be that it could help for the masses to wake up. And so because
Well,
that has to be a reason. Yeah,
yeah. There's enough sore spots in people right now with what's going on all over the place that you can bring up plenty of subjects that they'll be willing to talk about. And one thing leads right to another, right? And they all lead to flat Earth. So it's
oh yeah,
becoming right. So it's becoming kind of easy to talk to people.
exactly. And just before also I shared a meme about that sundial. You see that?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's the
It's huge.
sundial bridge in California, like a modern architectural marvel and timekeeping. It's not just a bridge, but a functioning sundial, casting a shadow to indicate the time, reminding us of our enduring quest to measure time in harmony with our surroundings, right? And it's one of the biggest functional sundial in the world, the Sundial Bridge in California.
Oh, wow.
And then there is the Aztec calendar stone, often referred to as the sunstone, reflects the intricate understanding of time. This massive stone monument showcases the synergy between the secular and the spiritual aspect of time, and serves as a testament to the importance of timekeeping in their culture. Yeah, it's crazy how much even in the sundial temples in India, it's crazy. They are from the time they are how long these thousands of years old, and it's still functional. All right, so we'll do
You
one
know,
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to throw in there that these things are thousands of years old, but they're telling us that the moon is creeping away at a rate of an inch a year, I think they say. So after thousands of years, wouldn't that would have to throw the time off of the moon? Nothing, and it hasn't.
Exactly.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, because the pseudoscience stuff they add, the sprinkle over, has its consequences, right? So
Sure. Yeah, they want everything both ways. The moon is moving away, but it's immeasurable. But they know how far it is, so it's measurable.
exactly. Coolio. So I'll try to play some clips. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey guys, I want to say thanks to everybody who's visited the site and checked things out, and everybody who's paid for the video to watch it. You guys are so great, and we really appreciate your support and all the great comments that we've been getting back from people who have watched it. It's really awesome. And yeah, congratulations, brother, putting the second home run in the air.
Oh yeah, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be back in a moment.
"2,000 years ago, a shipwreck created a time capsule. Hidden beneath the waves, untouched by time. The secrets it held would challenge our understanding of the past and reveal the incredible ingenuity of our ancestors. Journey with us as we dive into the depths of history, uncovering the enigmatic ancient marvel that defies the limits of its time. Rediscovered a century ago by another shipwreck, nature seemed to guard its secrets, preserving a device that would rewrite our understanding of ancient technology. The mechanical realm beckons us to unlock its mysteries. Through history, archaeology, astrophysics, and astronomy, we embark on a quest to decipher the intricate workings of the past. The pieces of the puzzle come together as we explore the convergence of art, science, and philosophy. A true masterpiece of craftsmanship, gives us a glimpse into the minds of ancient engineers and their quest to understand the cosmos.
Testament to the importance of astronomy in ancient Greek culture, reflecting the desire of Greek astronomers and mathematicians to understand the workings of the cosmos.
Everything moves over the surface of our flat and stationary Earth. Nothing goes around the sun. The sun is not the center.
One inside the other and inside the other 9 times. The tolerance not of a millimeter. Thickness of a fingernail but a 1/10 of a millimeter.
Where the ancients could tap into this far deeper, far more profound wisdom and knowledge. In doing so, they were able to create such a brilliant mechanism that lived inside a beautiful realm that was designed as a timepiece with mathematics and fractals built within everything in the fabric.
This body is a combination of all these sides together in one device, working in perfection, reflecting the movement, the only movement about to a geocentric stationary flat realm.
Prepare for an extraordinary journey where hidden truths come to light. The secrets of the mechanical realm will redefine our perception of history and reshape our appreciation of the past and shape of our Earth. Get ready to witness the unveiling of the extraordinary, a geocentric stationary flat Earth working model that has defied the passage of time. The mechanical realm awaits you.
Embark on a journey of revelations with RTS. Delve into the captivating secrets revealed in the Mechanical Realm documentary. Experience knowledge unbounded on our uncensored platform, where curiosity knows no limits. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Our upcoming app, The Mechanical Realm, promises an enhanced truth-seeking experience. Discover, engage, and rewrite the story. RTS isn't just another social media platform. It's a haven where you can express your thoughts freely and openly. No shadow bans, no censorship, just authentic discussions and connections. Join us and be a part of the unfiltered conversation.
Ready to uncover the mysteries of the universe? RTS welcomes you to a world of unlimited discovery. The Mechanical Realm documentary will sweep you into a realm of ancient wonders and technological marvels. Brace yourself for the upcoming app, The Mechanical Realm. It is designed to amplify your exploration and connect you with fellow truth seekers. Explore, connect, and engage without limitations on RTS, a platform that brings together the best of all social media while giving you the freedom to explore your thoughts openly. Join us in breaking free from censorship and discovering the unfiltered truth.
Your key to unmasking the extraordinary awaits you on RTS, Real Truth Seekers, where you can immerse yourself in the Mechanical Realm documentary. A journey through time that will redefine your understanding of the past. Fuel your passion for discovery with a community of like-minded explorers. And stay tuned for the upcoming app. The Mechanical Realm app is on its way and promising an unmatched experience in your pursuit of the truth. Uncover, connect, and thrive. RTS is where truth seekers unite to share their findings and perspectives openly, without the fear of censorship. Break free from the shadows and join a platform that empowers you to express yourself authentically. Welcome to the Unfiltered Conversations, RTS Uncensored, realtruthseekers.com, and mechanicalrealm.com. See you there.
Join RTS, uncensored platform for real truth seekers like you. Immerse yourself in a community that values unfiltered explorations and seeks hidden knowledge. Unveil the enigmatic world of the Mechanical Realm documentary, revealing ancient secrets that challenge the past. And guess what? Our upcoming app, The Mechanical Realm, will take your truth-seeking journey to the next level. Stay connected. Stay idle. Experience the freedom of expression on RTS, where all voices are heard without shadow bans or censorship. It's your gateway to share, discuss, and connect beyond the boundaries of the mainstream platform. Discover the power of the community that's truly yours. RTS, uncensored.
Guys, for y'all who want to watch the movie, I just pasted the link on the chat now, The Mechanical Realm, or you'll go to Vikka Draziv's YouTube channel, and you can find out how to watch or download the movie. And all right, welcome back, Billy.
Thank you, Eddie. Great to be back. And Vikka's documentary is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I've taken a note, and you can purchase it now on his website. Is that right? So you can download it and watch it before it's launched on YouTube, which I'll be doing because I want to support Vikka. Vikka's been, just a massive, artillery for us in the community, hasn't he? In the truth community, and what I can't wait to see is and find out more about the Antikythera mechanism, which is I see it's the documentary is focused around the Antikythera device that was found about 100 and something years ago, which they didn't know what it was, and then advancements and now X-ray and all this stuff, they've been able to decipher that this thing was a clock, and it could people say, well, where's your flat earth model? There it is, because they were able to decipher the positions of the luminaries for thousands of years, and with precision that I believe that they still model. The heliocentric model uses a lot of that as well. So yeah, I can't wait for Vikka's documentary to just hit the masses again, because he does a good job at he's good at what he does, and the next one's going to be even better, because I believe when you just get better and better at things, don't you? So if you just imagine where he's going to be in 10 years' time, So thank you, Vikka. You're a champion.
Shout out to you, Vikka.
There was a time where darkness was upon the earth, and the light was hidden, making the truth so hard to find. The Mechanical Realm documentary, directed by Vikka Draziv and Marcio David, will bring back the hope to all real truth seekers, searching the real truth about creation and our Creator. Truth is getting censored and deleted as dots in a book on fire. History was rewritten various times to hide the real truth about creation and about our Creator. But now, in a time of awakening, where all truth seekers are getting together and helping each other to find the real truth, the Mechanical Realm, for the first time in the scientific community, is presenting one flat Earth working model that was lost in time. Check now the Mechanical Realm documentary, only on themechanicalrealm.com. Don't forget to download our app on Play Store. Your voice matters.
Don't wait more time. Watch now the Mechanical Realm documentary. Download our app or visit our website at themechanicalrealm.com. Be the next to wake up for a totally new reality.
All right, welcome back, guys. So as in the clip, Billy Zig was mentioning, where is the flat earth model? That is the flat earth model, right? So as Billy, there are many people who can and who will see that is the flat earth working model. So do check out the Mechanical Realm. And this mechanism is the mother of all this timekeeping that we are speaking about today, because of all these different cultures, right? So it goes in really deep. So the Mechanical Realm. So the cycles, like for example, the Vedic cycles, the Vedic traditions of India acknowledge the yugas consisting of 4 distinct cosmic ages or cosmic cycles. It's had its own meaning. Satya Yuga, it's supposed to be the age of light, or so it's Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga is supposed to be the dark ages. Like each yuga or each cycle represents a different phase of human existence, illustrating the eternal cycle of creation and destruction, birth and rebirth. It's crazy. It's crazy. We cannot even, our mind even cannot imagine, or just imagining it, like these cycles go so far beyond. Each of them are in 5,000 plus years, each of them or more. How the hell they were doing that, and how the hell they're doing that, right? And then also the Chinese, they have their own calendar with their lunar months and the solar cycles, which also goes on for thousands of years. We all know about the Chinese astrology and how much deep they are in there. And also with the Vedics, how deep they go with their Vedic astrology and astronomy, right? The word Astra Veda, the word is Astra, comes from the word Astra Veda. And from Astra is an anagram of star, right? Astrology, astro. So most of the culture, they had their own way, so keeping that knowledge, that wisdom passing through, right? But in reality, they all are doing the same thing, right? In their own way, in their own technology. And the Hebrew have their own calendars. The Slavics, they have their own calendar and their cycles. So it's not possible on a globe, all these way of timekeeping. It's not possible with all their fake planets and with their fake numbers and with everything that they are keeping the people indoctrinated. What the ancients have been doing and the way they have been keeping this software running is because they got this software for somewhere, right? Not just experimenting, because it's just too far beyond the concept of just for a generation to do that, to come up with this. It's not possible because these goes really, really far. So the concept of time, maybe for us human in this 3D reality, is different, and maybe in another it's different, and that's why they could crazy stuff. You there, Gene? I don't hear you, brother. You there?
Oh, I'm here, man. Keeping my mind from exploding.
Cool.
Concepts of time and timekeeping is great.
Oh yeah. So even all the messiahs and the saints showing up in different ages, marking different ages and times according to different cosmologies. Yeah, but people don't want to accept it that most of the culture they totally depend upon astrology and astronomy for their creation story to have a start, a beginning, a creation, a birth, and their Messiah, and their world, and their own calendars, and their own timekeeping in their own ways. Every religion.
Well, one thing for sure throughout the years is very important for them, though, and to have that precision and to be so like impeccable about it. This says a lot about how we're not being taught that now. Like, why was that so important? What were they doing? Probably just things related to health and happiness, I would think. Sharing knowledge, information.
Exactly, and also synchronicity, right, with the vibrations that are above us, like as we spoke about, like
Yeah,
the birth charts, right? How it
sure.
looks very similar to the mechanism, right? It looks like your own dial of destiny, right?
Right, right. Yeah,
Every birth chart, yeah.
they were probably celebrating birthdays while they were gathering. You know, I just see a whole different kind of world, a whole different functioning society that would look at us and just be like bewildered. Like, what are they doing?
Exactly, because one person born on a particular day has his sun in that constellation or in that sign. That's why it's called horoscope, right? And then you have all the other luminaries in different places, in different houses, in different constellations. So if we see a birth chart, it literally looks like a dial with the sun and all the luminaries in the different zodiacs. It's like your own personal dial, and the people who can read that and understand that, you have your whole past, present, and future right there in that image.
Wow.
If you compare it, very similar to the mechanism which the documentary is about, right? So connecting it with timekeeping and where you are in that particular, where you were born in that moment, and that, right, it's crazy stuff. It's so precise. If the people, the ones who know how to read those charts with all the different angles, with all the luminaries, with the sun, and so it's crazy.
Yeah.
And how every luminary has its own frequencies. We also spoke about the seven planets, the seven heavens, right? It's all different frequency, the seven colors, the seven sounds, the seven whatever, right?
Frequencies. Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
so the importance, even if we don't want to see that importance, but it's the connection, but it's there. It reflects through us, right, day to day. And everything, even from the smallest cycle of us waking up and the sun rising till the sunset, and we all through the night, it's just a cycle within the cycle, right, also in a way.
Yeah, sure is. Right? Even my spirit, like life, if what I get 80 years if I'm lucky, right? Or whatever you get is like a day in the soul of a spirit. It can be, like, because time doesn't really exist in that world, right? It's just different.
Exactly, the people don't want to see like this the astrology and astronomy, and they don't want to see the astrology as something, but it's nothing. It's just timekeeping, brother. It's just the frequencies of the luminaries that is affects us, and because of those frequencies we see the different colors and light, and everything is in that functions in that sense of the seven heavens and the seven colors. And you cannot ignore it because it's you don't see it consciously, but it is affecting us daily, right? We spoke about the lunar and the lunatic, right? And the sun and the Mars energy, right? And the and you see why every religion is representing a luminary. Why is it not representing anything else, right?
Yeah, and I think the little tricks that they were doing was probably really simple too, like doing certain things in the water underneath the moon in the right time of the moon or the right day when Mars is with the moon, and just like things like that. Kind of like we were talking about. I think those little tweaks of information have been taken away, and if we were doing things right, we'd be able to live a different vibration together in this world. Maybe the animals wouldn't be so like wild animals, and it'd be more in tune
Oh
with
yeah.
the
Oh
thing.
yeah, we know about the on full moon the animals are more active and hunting and everything, and even people are a little bit. So I think everything uh, have that frequency, And for example, the geomancy is another science. It's not any magic, right? It's also about seeing all the different frequencies, and it's almost like future telling, all right? And it is supposed to be a science that it was supposed to be passed by some gods or some messiahs also, way. And it's nothing, it's just the understanding of the nature and how it works, and anybody can look into it. It's geomancy device. It looks like a machine, but it's seeing the celestial events and the energy that is, and questioning and doing things, right? Geomancy. And it connects the atmosphere, the layer, the us humans, the layers below, the water level below, and everything. Most of the constructions and ancient construction like Tartarian style are built on geomancy, where there are particular frequencies that meet above, on surface, and below the earth to the water that moves, right? It's all sacred geometry that is working above and below and on the surface, right? So using those energy and frequencies, and with some help of some devices and the celestial event, and predicting future for anybody. It's nothing magic. It's just the way, it's a science. But all these things, it's not, right? So in a way, the people who do tarots and all this stuff, it's a way of doing geomancies. It's like working with the frequencies, and using a card or a stone or flowers or shells or whatever, right? A different way, or a stick in the earth, and drawing on the sand, many different ways. But it's crazy. In some of the scriptures, it shows, or it tells, that this art of geomancy or science of geomancy was given by Gabriel to some of the. It's in some testament that was given to some other guy who was also one part of the biblical stuff, right? So if you go into deep, it's just art and science working in the nature.
Well, there's just it makes me think that there's just better times to plant seeds than others. Right? There's a time for everything. So if you know what the right time to do things, then you can have a lot of the game beat or played well.
Oh
Right?
yeah, totally. It's a time to to plant seeds, there are time to prune, there is time to harvest, there is time to, so
Yeah.
it's for a
But
reason. Yeah.
so it makes me think of just life in general as something like, new life coming in with ideas and situations and how to handle a new situation and make it grow and flourish and stuff. When to prune and when to plant, and like not just physical trees and plants and flowers. And I'm talking about situations in life.
That was a good one.
Exactly. It's good that you brought it up. Like even the plants are following a cycle. They shed their leaves, they
Mm-hmm.
the fruits, they spread pollen. It's a year. These their own cycles
Sometimes
continue.
once a year.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Keith, how are you?
What's up, Keith?
Hey guys, good. I'm doing good. I'm driving, so I'll be in and out with you here, but I'm doing well. What you been talking about?
Cycles.
I love that subject. It's just something that the globe heads can't deny. I mean, they can deny it, but that's what we see. That's what the people who built the Antikythera mechanism saw. They saw the cycles over us. We still see the same cycles today. But yeah, I heard the last little bit you said there. We certainly have cycles in our own life too, in our own bodies. It's weird. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this. For me, it's like in my own personal life, it's like I have 7-year cycles that seem where kind of major things happen every 7 years in my life. So it's just, and that's just me personally. Everybody can maybe has a different number. Maybe someone has a 5-year cycle or a 10-year cycle in their life. But for me, the number 7 is kind of significant with different things changing or seasons changing for me.
Oh, oh yeah. 7, 9, right? It's different cycles. We human needs to regenerate, right? If no, we're gonna be like explode with bored with our life, right? In a way, if we don't update every, even they say in the science that our cells are also every 7 years are regenerated into you're absolutely a new person in a way, right? Uh,
Right.
so up to a cellular level, it's doing its cycles, right? And as we were speaking before, the different cycles that we all go to from our day-to-day life, of being the smallest cycle of a day, right, to the week, to the month, to the year, and year after year.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of that old scripture. They even an old rock and roll song from the '60s from the book of Ecclesiastes that there's a time for everything under the sun. And we've talked about it, I think privately. I don't know if we've mentioned it here on the podcast, but just the fact that it was time, it was a season for this documentary to come out. And maybe even the debate between two relatively well-known pastors and a certain sect of Christianity. It's time for this debate that's supposed to happen. There's times and seasons, and it's just something that you really can't deny. But if you get a little more in tune with it, maybe you can live a little better or more meaningful or more fulfilling life.
Oh yeah, brother, it's time for everything. And that's why you could see now even in the community a lot of like speaking about time and clock, and so it's time for the people to wake up in a way. And as I was saying that, as Billy Zeke saw it and many others saw it, and many will see it when the mechanical realm go public, that this is the flat earth working model. So awesome. And this is the thing, no, we were also speaking about the different ages that different cosmologies have that goes beyond thousands of years, and how they've been doing this, how they've been passing this down. Some of these cycles are going 20,000, 30,000 years. So how is it possible? Do we know everything? Right?
Bro, we know nothing. Well, whatever we think we know, there's so much we don't know, and we're still just trying to figure it out. But yeah, those 20,000 year cycles, that's mind blowing. I know that's part of the Vedic cosmology. If Gutai Jay was still with us, he could tell us more about it. But I mean, even John Levi just recently, I think his video last week was called Kali Yuga, about one of the long seasons. But yeah, there's so much for us to learn, and I think that's, for me anyway, that's part of my journey of living and learning and loving it and enjoying it. I think when we expand our mind, consider new ideas and learn new things, that we have more joy in life. At least for me, anyway.
Oh yeah, and also that I mentioned
Still on there,
this, right?
still alive.
Yeah, that all the different culture have this ingrained in it, all these cycles and all this timekeeping and all this astronomy, totally ingrained in it, even if we want to ignore it.
Yeah, I saw that post you had today too of the bridge that is a sundial. That was awesome. I had never seen that. Just
I
the
never saw that
cycle of
either.
the
That's
sun.
really
I
cool.
mean, yeah, that's so cool. And the Vedic temples with the sundials there that are, God only knows how many thousands of years old those sundials are, and they're still keeping perfect time today. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, but that's my job, brother, to bring things that is not right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. And yeah, as you say, the temples, all these ancient temples and those buildings, how they perfectly align during the equinoxes and the solstice for thousands of years. That is functional.
Yeah, some of the so-called cathedrals, and I think Ewar, when he was on the right path, I think he has lost his way, but he did a thing called the sun in the church, and the sun being the sun, not the sun like as in Jesus, but the sun sun. When it goes into some of these cathedrals, it lights up a spot on the floor and goes across the floor for the solstice and the equinox, and then it comes back across the floor. I mean, these cathedrals, whatever they actually were originally, I don't know, but they are perfectly aligned to the solstice and equinoxes, even with the sun rays coming through the windows and shining up certain spots on the floor on the exact perfect dates.
Oh yeah, and also some statues of goddesses and gods, like literally lightning in up in golden color, the sun on some specific dates. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, those horse and buggy people were amazing. So have you heard anything new about this debate that's supposed to happen? I have not. I'm just curious.
I haven't.
Yeah, it seems like it kind of calmed down there.
I heard that
It's funny.
about the date, right? It is on 2nd.
Yeah, December 2nd. It's funny because I've had almost every day I've had conversations with a personal friend of that globe defending pastor, and his close personal friend is, he's a hardcore flat earther. He's actually the one who told the church he would give $10,000 to anybody who could prove the globe. And he and I have been talking back and forth, and it's been some interesting conversations because he comes more from the Christian persuasion than I do, and he's trying to figure out how all this flat earth and the false history we've been fed, how all this fits into his belief system. And I've been trying to get him to consider, maybe it doesn't fit into that belief system. Maybe it's beyond that, or maybe it's outside of what you already believe. But we've had some real good conversations, and I think that's a big part of the path that all of us find ourselves on, is being willing to question what we think we know and consider, maybe try to hold in our mind a belief or an idea that's contrary to what we think we know. I think that's how we grow. I think that's how we learn new things.
Oh yeah, and if you're a pastor and you believe that the earth is a globe, that means you believe that Adam and Eve story is bullshit, right? You believe in Big Bang. You're literally. So what are you teaching? What the hell are you teaching? That if you believe that you come from a monkey, what the hell are you teaching your followers?
Yeah, I said in one of my little videos that I addressed that pastor directly, and I don't know if he ever saw it, but I know a lot of his followers did. That he's going to have in his corner defending his globe belief system people who believe in Big Bang, people who believe in evolution, people who are outright promoting atheism, that there is no God. That's the people that's in the side of the globe. And you're a pastor, promoting the globe or defending the globe right alongside with atheists who have some crazy beliefs. When you start looking into that, evolution gets, it's insane what the evolutionists believe. And again, that, I mean, all of that, the Big Bang, evolution, that requires way more faith than I have. I don't have enough faith to believe that stuff. And that's what you have to buy in. You have to just trust what the so-called authorities say if you're going to buy into the globe and everything that comes with it.
Hey Keith, does Dean Odell have Austin Whitsitt coming in with him?
That is the rumor. I had not put that out there publicly yet, but that's what David told me. David Weiss told me in a message that it looks like Dean is going to have Austin Whitsitt there, which is awesome. Austin knows his stuff really well, and he communicates it real clearly, so that's good. I haven't heard the confirmation on that, but I know Austin. I'm pretty sure Austin is from Tennessee, so it's probably just a short drive for him wherever he's at to make it to that debate.
So that means bad luck for Locke. That
that's bad. Yeah, yeah. I have not invited myself, but I'm probably going to say, hey guys, I would love to contribute a little 5 or 10 minute video of my testimony of how I became a flat earther up until the mechanical realm, and spend 3 or 4 minutes promoting the mechanical realm. Just maybe like 10 minutes or less, a little short video that they could play on the night of the debate. I'll probably ask David or Dean at some point if they would like to have that. If they want it, great. If they don't, I know David and Dean and Austin will all do a phenomenal job representing Flat Earth.
Good luck with that, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be good for the documentary too. I mean, just to do literally 5 minutes of my introduction to Flat Earth from a Navy pilot, and then 5 minutes about the mechanical realm, the research we did, and by the time the debate comes, the free version will be everywhere. So we'll be able to promote that at the debate. You can go online and watch it later that night.
Oh yeah. It will help a lot for many people to have much more stuff to against the globe. But yeah, and literally there is no debate in reality, but we see what's going on, because for sure it could be like a kind of a publicity stunt from his side to try to, because there are a lot of flat earthers, right, who are Christians. So for sure, to create confusion, to create doubt, because this kind of pastor and many others where masses are following them, so flat earth can really do a lot of damage to these people, right? Unless these followers are totally blind and they don't see anything, right?
Well, for some of them, unfortunately, it is a perfect example of the blind leading the blind. I mean, hopefully the time has come where more of these Christian pastors come to the knowledge of the truth about creation. But I don't know. I mean, if the guy is doing this as a publicity stunt, and if he really is a flat earther, I think that would be absolute genius of him. But I don't think that's who he is. I think he's an arrogant, typical charismatic Christian pastor. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not trying to judge him. I've just been around that energy a lot in my life over the last 20, 30 years. So I know it very well. And those guys, a lot of those guys that are very similar to him, almost identical energy to him, they have an ego. I mean, they have, and I have an ego. We all do, but their ego runs amok, and people in the pews just sit there and yell and applaud and clap as if their pastor is, you know, the anointed of God, and they actually claim that for themselves. And I don't think this guy is doing a publicity stunt, unless he just, I think he really believes the earth is a globe. He has not questioned it because he doesn't have the ability to question it because of his own arrogance. That's my opinion. Time will tell. I guess we'll find out in about a month. But until then, I am going to produce some more promotion of the debate, and I'm going to try to get a video into that debate about my little experience and about the mechanical realm, in hopes that, you know, that this debate is actually used by whatever God is, whoever God is, that this debate is actually used to start waking up a lot more people that are in the Christian realm.
Exactly, and I think one of the best support the flat Earth have for this debate is this, that the rest of the culture behind it is also there, right? Who are saying the same thing about the real cosmology. So, which may help the indoctrinated ones, the heliocentrist ones, to see that it's not only their beliefs. There are many different other cultures who have the same belief. All cannot be wrong, right? And one can be right. No, it's not happening. It's one of the most easy things to see and to accept, because I think there is the problem, because the people are not accepting everything, accept everything in a way, accept all different cultures as one, and you accept their cosmology too. You accept that, right? Because acceptance, respect, and compassion, because there is where is the real awakening. What these indoctrinated ones who need to heliocentrists of any religion, what they need to wake up is with this freaking respect and compassion for the rest of the culture, because everyone is freaking saying the same thing in different way, and they all support one another, because that's the real ultimate truth which have been shared for thousands of years, and nobody can manipulate it.
Exactly.
That's the real solution. Yeah.
That false claim. Yeah, the false claim that a lot of, you know, modern day scientists, globe heads want to use, that, oh, well, they knew the earth was a ball 2,000 years ago. No, they didn't. No. I mean, and, you know, in the Christian community, I like to mess with people sometimes and say, well, you know, Jesus was a flat earther. And, you know, they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, it's like everyone 2,000 years ago, whoever built the Antikythera mechanism, they knew. They didn't have a belief that the earth was a ball. They didn't have a belief that the earth was flat. They knew that the earth itself was flat. They knew the motions of all the heavenly luminaries over us. They knew this. This was knowledge for them. It wasn't a faith. It wasn't religion. It was fact. And that, like you just said, Vikka, that wasn't just one culture. That was all of the cultures from 2,000 years ago had this knowledge. And now here we are in, you know, the year 2000 or so, and we think that we are smarter than these guys. We have been dumbed down to the place where people are walking around with face diapers on and running to the authorities, getting, I gotta be careful not to say the wrong words, you know what I mean? Taking magic juice so that they don't get sick from something. So I don't know, the culture we live in today, it really is a matrix. Even my teenage sons will look around and say, like, dude, everybody is zombies. One of my boy who just turned 19, he said, Dad, thank you for keeping me out of public school. Those kids are nothing but zombies. So it's like the culture we live in is really not that smart, not that intelligent. Yes, we have some crazy cool technologies, but the overall belief system of this heliocentric religion has infiltrated the minds of everybody. So I would trust the people 2,000 years ago far more than I trust the people today.
Oh yeah, 2000 or 200,000, we don't know. It's not just only about 2000, it goes much more beyond, and this is what they're just telling us, right? And what could the reality be? And as you say, 2023, and what we are doing is showing the people know that our ancients were genius. They are genius, and all we come through that consists in all of us too, right? We are not looking for alien planets and alien civilizations, and it's here. No alien made nothing out of this, right? It's the
Right.
ancient.
It's
Yeah,
2,000 years ago. It was apparently built, but how long it took to get to that is what freaks me out. All that information and such precision.
Yeah, how long did it take them to figure out the movements of everything we see in the sky?
Right? Wow, that's just crazy. And then you think that nothing like that is taught today in any kind of school. You got to find that outside schools, as far as I know. So, look at
exactly. They show the ancients as like, primitive and all this stuff.
yeah,
This is but that's why they try to connect the rest of the technology with aliens, because from one side they're showing that they were primitive, but they cannot really explain how come then they have the technology, right? So best way is aliens, right? Out,
right.
right?
Yeah, it takes
Easy
it out
way
of
out.
everything.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
No, I just think they have technology they don't show us way further than we thought. It's not just 20 or 50 years ahead.
Oh yeah, lost technology, lost history, right?
Yeah, well, we call it lost, but I just think it was taken.
Or hidden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, taken and hidden. I don't know how much is really being. They might. I mean, obviously, they just found Göbekli Tepe 20, 25 years ago, right? So they're still definitely finding things, but I don't know how much of it's really news to them, kind of idea, you know?
Exactly. So there have to be many other stuff like that didn't make it, or they don't want that it reaches us. But
Yeah,
this is the
exactly.
thing. But this is the thing: the Earth that is flat and geocentric and stationary proves with simple things, right? So
I get through to a lot of people recently with just telling them, you live on a 24,902 mile ball of water, right? And that catches a lot of people's attention. And put the invisible basketball up in the air too. It's 24,000 mile ball of water. Flying around in a vacuum. They're like, what?
yeah, the fake pseudoscience, right?
I guess they teach it young. Most people are kind of not into it really, so they don't think too much about it afterwards. And then I guess some of them, when you hit them with that later on, it's just kind of striking. Like I asked the guy filling up my tank once about diesel fuel. So all petroleum is because of ancient decayed plant life and like like sea life and stuff like that, right? And he laughed at me. I was like, good, because that's just a story they're telling. He's like, that's crazy. So You know, if you tell somebody these things that, you know, might not remember it or didn't even hear of it, they find that, you know, some people find it kind of comical, shocking, even like, what? Like, yeah, that's how the story goes, you know.
This is the thing. Oh yeah, so this is also I wanted to mention just to have an idea about the ages, right? Yugas are cyclical time periods which separates different ages of human civilization. There are 4 yugas, namely Satya Yuga, the golden age, Treta Yuga, the silver age, Dwapara Yuga, bronze age, and Kali Yuga, the iron age. As you were mentioning before about the video of the Kali Yuga, it's the iron age or the dark ages. So the yugas function in a cyclical pattern, like the waxing and the waning of the moon. Each of the 4 yugas involves stages of evolution. So during the Satya Yuga, it's equivalent to 4,800 years of the demigods. Then you have the Treta Yuga, lasts for 3,600 years. And the Dwapara Yuga lasts for 2,400 years. While the Kali Yuga lasts for 1,200 years. So all these years are in the years of the gods, demigods, okay? And a year of a demigod would be equivalent to 360 human years. So it's believed that the Satya Yuga lasted for 1,728,000 years. Who the hell is calculating all this time and doing this timekeeping? Yeah, it was just an example. I'm going much more detail about these yugas, but different cosmologies, endless. It's crazy how deep it goes. As I said, even our mind won't be able to grasp in our imagination. And same with the earth, right? In a way, our flat realm. It's not infinite, but it goes on for long. And what it could inhabit only on the surface level. And then we say we have the 7 heavens, few above and few below, right? Forget about that and what it could inhabit. Our mind cannot even imagine, define in our imagination, right? It's crazy, yeah. Cycles, yeah, the calendars. And we want to speak about just the 2,000 year or 5,000 year or 10,000 year. And we want to wrap our brain around that time concept of that much, right? But it is beyond our so we are in some smaller cycle of these great cycles. the representation of the bull during the age of the during the time of the Moses supposed to be, right, or in the time of the Aries of the Abraham, right, or in the time of the Jesus, like with the Pisces, right. It's all bigger cycles, but doing the same thing, keeping everything in check. All these messiahs, all these, it's coming in their time, right? And all the creation, all the culture, all the religion having their creation story of and their way of timekeeping through these prophets and messiahs, right? With everything related with the celestial.
Yeah, one of the things that's intriguing to me, and I don't have enough knowledge about it, and I'm definitely going to learn more, is just, as you talked about the age of Aries or the ram, and then the bull, and the Pisces and the fish, and the water bearer Aquarius, and how even now the tropics, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, allegedly, some people are saying that our tropics should not even be called the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn right now, because the constellations or the sun, where the sun's position is for the solstices and equinoxes are not in Cancer and in Capricorn anymore. They have moved on to the next constellation. So and I'm just throwing that out there for anybody who's into that or wants to look into it. That's very intriguing to me, that I think our timelines, our history has been tampered with and played with. I don't know that this is the year 2023 at all. I don't know what year it is. I don't think any of us truly do. But when we start looking to the sky and looking at these different ages and looking at the position of the sun in the different constellations, I think there's a lot for us to learn there. So, I mean, like I said, I'm an amateur at this for sure, but it's something I'll be looking into more and learning more about.
Oh yeah, we mentioned just before in the podcast about that. They say that the sun is in Scorpio, or should be in Scorpio, but it's in Virgo, and all their calculations are not working. And that's why they even said something about the Earth going faster or slower, because to make it up with this anomaly, right? So there is something to that. Like the manipulation is there. That's why it's not squaring up with the real celestial events. And as you say, the equinox or the solstice is not also right. So yeah, it's part of the game, so they're trying to.
Yeah, it's funny to me that the experts are always shocked or surprised or confused, and we're not know what's going on. And here they are. They're the experts. They're getting paid these enormous fees from these universities, and they have no clue. I mean, that's what I just can't wait until this Antikythera mechanism in our documentary gets into the world of academia. I'm hoping and believing that that's going to happen at least on some level. And hopefully one of us or all of us can have some different debates with some so-called professor who knows everything about everything, and say, well, then why did the ancients create this computer in perfect alignment to everything we see in the sky, and the Earth is not on it? I mean, can you explain that to me, other than the fact that the Earth is not one of the heavenly luminaries? I mean, it's so simple. And yet these, as you talked about, Vikka, truth is simple, lies are complicated. These professors they've complicated everything. These universities have complicated everything when it comes to geography, astronomy, and history, that, this culture we live in today, we are so screwed up, we don't know what to believe. So the more, I can't wait until the mechanical realm makes its way through at least part of the world of academia and starts waking up some of these professors.
Oh yeah, definitely, brother. Once it's go public, we're going to be gifting these links to these academics and say, let's do some science, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not your religion, not your belief, not your opinions. Let's do some science. What is the sky telling us? What does the sun and moon tell us? And
Exactly.
if they're going to actually do some real science, they're not going to be able to come to any other conclusion except for the fact, like we have come to the conclusion, the earth is flat. This is a geocentric system, meaning everything goes around the North Pole over it. Everything goes around Polaris, but under it. And that's what all the ancients knew. That's what we know today because we've been researching this for years now. And if this, let me say when this becomes more public knowledge and it gains traction, and it seems like it's been growing. I mean, I've only been in this. I mean, I know people have been flat earthers for 20 years, but I've only been in this about 6 or 7 years now. And I definitely see momentum. I definitely see it becoming more mainstream, at least where people can talk about it now. Yeah, we all still deal with the globe trolls and the shills online, but I think some of them are just paid to be there. I think some of them are bots too. I think we're sitting. That's why I don't argue with them. I just block them because you don't even know if you're just arguing with a computer. But we definitely have momentum, I think, on our side, and I know this documentary, The Mechanical Realm, is going to help us get closer to that tipping point where more and more and more people are taking a serious look into flat Earth.
Oh yeah, brother. It's the truth is simple, brother. And as you say about the North Pole and the Polaris, uh, when we see the swastika sign, that that will hijack the symbol. But if you see, it's just representing the four sides, and with the Polaris, the North Star in the middle, right? If you really see, it's right there, the truth, if the people want to see it. And if you move it, and if you add some lines behind those swastika, it moves like a wheel, and it does move like a wheel with the Big Dipper. That's why the symbol of swastika is there. If you want to see the proof, and the truth is right there in front of the eyes, but the people don't want to see it. It's not there, right? That gear is right up there in the middle with the four sides, with the swastika, right, moving like a wheel.
Yeah,
The gear.
even people that understand that, a lot of them are so conditioned to think of what the more recent terminology is used for that. Maybe that's why they
Exactly.
do it. They demonize it so bad that you just can't stop focusing on what they're telling you.
Exactly, with most of the symbols. And
Yeah. And there's subliminal advertising.
exactly, they're going to deflect from the truth any way possible, with any sprinkling of anything of sci-fi or whatever, right? And we all know about the magnetic power of the north, like how the compass works, and all this is real science, right? How the navigation is really done on this flat realm because of the importance of that magnetic north, which helps you locate on where you are between these two polarities, right? Anywhere on that realm. As we spoke about, we don't know. Well, who knows that it could be an artificial technology that's doing that, and everything is totally artificial, and that's why it's working. Who knows, right?
Well, it is a creation. Something had to create all of this. So.
Oh yeah, we have an awesome podcast about this, right? The magnetic mountain or something like magical mountain.
So kind of like by default.
Oh yeah, it's a central axis, right? It's supposed to be the central shaft, as I said in some scriptures or some text, it speaks about this is where everything moves through in different realms, in different heavens, if you want to call it, through that central shaft. And if everything is connected to this central shaft, right, and it's all going in cycles, like it's all smaller and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And all are moving like gears.
Oh yeah,
And
like in the vortex.
crazy stuff, yeah. Oh yeah, the mechanical realm, yeah, soon it's gonna be out for the masses. So definitely, guys, we're gonna be continuing to, right? Anyway, so we will have our last thoughts on this about the cycles and the calendars. We went through a bit of stuff with all the Gregorian calendars and all the different cosmologies, the Vedic, the Chinese, the Hebrew, the Mayas, right, the Greeks with their own way of, with the Metonic and the sort of cycle, right? Everyone is keeping their time, and as the Mayans, for them, it's the second or third sun. They're living in their second or third sun. So where does this go? Right? Who the hell know? Right? Amazing. It's building us all this from the, I think, from the cellular level, right? From the microcosm to the macrocosm, the cycles within, like moving like gears, the calendar, everyone trying to keep that timekeeping from all these thousands of years, and how they've been doing with all those major cycles which been going on all these from eternity, seems like, right? But there is a technique for sure, like as I said, there's some kind of technique they have with the celestial events and how things manifest and keeps manifesting with different frequencies, right? We could just go on, but guys, we're gonna have our last thoughts and we're gonna be signing out, right? So
Yeah, I'll say goodnight, guys. Great show, Vika. There's so many variations of all the cycles and everything that happens in between and during them, that it's kind of countless, I guess. And so the mechanical realm will explain a lot of those cycles to everybody, though, and in a couple different ways that are going to be so compelling for everybody. It'll help a lot of people understand these things better, which is very, it is complicated, though. It is the truth, but it is kind of complicated. It gets into a lot of different areas, and when things are where and when they're not. And so it'll be fun watching this, guys. And thanks to everybody who has watched it too. So happy birthday, Vika. It was a great show, brother. I was very happy to be here with you and everybody. So thanks, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
oh yeah, absolutely, thank you, brother. And yeah, brother, at first everything looks complicated because it's like so much, we are so impressed, like what is, but the nature, like we also have the sacred geometry there, because as you give, as you let it, as you absorb it, as people absorb it, you're going to see the people are gonna see that it's in reality it's as beauty and simple as truth, right? The sacred geometry, the pattern is so perfect, right? Because there is no chaos, right? Absolutely, brother. Thank you, brother, and for being here. And yes, definitely awesome show. Keith.
Hey, yeah, I'll say good night. Vika, I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday. And I know we're all 1 year older when the sun goes over us 365 times, not when we go around the sun 365 times. It's also funny today, isn't it? Like now that we know what we know, that some of the stuff that we hear is just so comical and insane and idiotic even. I did a little video this morning as I've been watching the sun and the moon the last couple of days. Like early in the morning, the sun and moon are getting closer and closer together. And, you know, a simple question I put out there is, where is the moon every 28 days? When we have a new moon, why can't we see it? Why can't it be detected with any scientific equipment? You can't see it with any optical equipment. It's just simply invisible. But if the heliocentric nonsense were true, then our big, huge sun should be hitting the Earth, and according to science, should be throwing something off called Earth shine, and we should be able to still see the moon in the sky. But a couple more days, there'll be a new moon, and we won't be able to see the moon at all. But a couple days after that, the moon will be back with a tiny sliver on its cycle. The sun and moon are about the same size and altitude. The sun laps the moon about once a month. That's what's real. That's what we observe. That's real science. This huge heliocentric burning ball of gas, that's a science fiction delusional belief system that we were all brainwashed with when we were born. But if you start researching reality, you start finding out real quick that what we were told and what actually is are two very different things. So, yeah, the cycles, I'm sorry I missed all the beginning of the podcast. I'll have to jump on tomorrow and listen to it. But cycles and seasons and circuits, patterns, sacred geometry, all of that means a lot to those of us who are researching reality. So, Vika, good show again. It's good to be with you. And I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, brother. And yeah, the mechanical realm will definitely help to understand a lot in this aspect, right? And this is the thing, as we wrap up, it's a timekeeper's odyssey, right? You know, if we start getting the bigger picture, like, you know, as the world of the calendars, the cycles, and the timekeeping, like, you know, to measure and harmonize time, like with our surroundings, like, and also beautifully integrated into architecture, as we spoke about, even the ancient ones. So we hope you enjoyed the immersive exploration, like into this captivating realm of timekeeping. Remember to look around and appreciate the architectural wonders that tell the story of the humanity's relation with time. And I think we can say literally that the sun and the moon don't rotate around us, but the sun and the moon rotate like above us. And this is definitely, you're going to find it and the exact real meaning in the mechanicalrealm.com, right? Or the documentary, The Mechanical Realm. So do share. And yes, thank you for joining us on this timekeeping odyssey of cycles and calendars. And be sure to subscribe, rate, review our podcast on your favorite platforms. And until next time, may you find the inspiration in the cyclical rhythm of the existence. So thank you, Keith. Thank you, Gene. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here with us tonight. Make sure you guys check us out on the next episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv, signing out, guys. So see you soon. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Houston, we have a problem.